everyone who is watching us, who is hearing us from any part of the world. Here is another episode of our podcast, Possibilists. And what is a possibilist? A possibilist is someone that goes beyond just being optimistic. Someone who is just optimistic, think about and believes that things are going to do good, are going to be great. But being a possibilist means that you know the facts, means that you know about probability, that you know about statistics, that you know about systems thinking. It means that you know about critical thinking. And because of all of that, you look at the full scenario and you say, it is a great opportunity, a great possibility for this to happen. So that is the difference between just being optimistic and being a possibilist. So now, today we have Anar Guliyev. Anar Guliyev is a great individual, an amazing individual. He's an author. He's an MD. He's a medical doctor. And he's also an expert on software development and machine learning and AI. So it's going to be a great discussion today. Hi, Anar. How are you?
Hello, Paulo. Thank you. How are you doing?
Great, thank you. But let's start. We always like to let our guests to introduce themselves. So could you please introduce yourself a little bit longer than the way I just did?
Well, I'm originally from Azerbaijan, a country which is between Turkey and Russia. Grew up in Soviet Union. Now I'm in Texas. And yes, you're right that I'm a medical doctor who switched to computer science because I got involved into some startups. I became co-founder of startups while being a surgeon. So it gradually led me to leave medicine, move more to computer science. And then when I came to America, I understood that, oh, that's so cool. I can do computer science for medicine, for biotech and medtech. And that's what I'm doing for many years already. And besides that, I'm also in Christian ministry, which is a very big and important part of my life. So that's it. And I'm also author since relatively recently. Second book is now in final publishing. So.
Oh, great. And that is amazing because not many people has the ability to combine medicine and computer science, but you are doing both. And that is the second question I like to ask, because you're a lead software engineer and an architect with a medical degree and an author. Why? Why combine medical training and software engineering with focus on machine learning and AI? How did that come?
It came from me naturally because I was just interested in all those subjects. And yeah, finally, if you study all of them, you find applications which are on the crossing of the several roads. So right now I work in a company, formation bio and drug development in general, clinical trials, etc. It requires lots of work. Our company actually has a big portion of our staff, which is in software engineering and computer science, and specifically machine learning.
No, that is amazing. We're going to talk about both because, oh, and obviously, I forgot to tell our audience about this, that we are talking about creativity, we are talking about innovation, we are talking about AI, machine learning, and health, because we like to have this holistic version of vision, this holistic vision about AI and about health. So we are grateful to have Anar here. And you are also an author. What are the names of your books and what are they about? Sorry, in general.
Okay, I mentioned second book. Actually, technically, that's my third book now being prepared. My very first book was published in the Russian language, and it's on science and comparative theology, Bible, Quran, and certain scientific things. I compare by side, but it's in Russian language. So in the English language, my first book was published a couple years ago. It is named 241 Real-World Brain Teasers. It's a collection of problems for out-of-box thinking, but you probably noticed that most books of this kind are either trivia, where questions you either know the answer or you don't know, right? And not much of thinking. Or there are some really brain teasers, which are mostly some abstract problems. They give you some numbers and some circles and triangles, etc. But I try to compile problems which are logical thinking, which is based on real life, and real life gives lots of examples. There's things from business innovations, from inventing things, from understanding how nature works, how something from technology works. And so lots of problems were already solved by creative people in some way. So I bring those problems to the reader and describing and allowing reader to think and to logically deduce the correct solution to the problem. And such a training on ideation, which involves some knowledge and also reasoning and out-of-box thinking. That's my second book, or first book in English language. And the book which I write right now, it's already written. It's in final editing process. It is Autoimmunity Unlocked, and that is on immune system. Oh, well, I will tell so. It is healthy lifestyle encyclopedia or system, which is based around immune system, specifically for people with autoimmune diseases like arthritis, lupus, Crohn's disease, and some other autoimmune diseases or allergies. But pretty much immune system is connected to almost every disease. So I will tell that, yeah, it will be useful for, beneficial for almost everybody.
No, those are amazing, and I had the opportunity to read the 241 related to creativity and problem solving. But we're going to talk a bit about both. Now we're going to talk about health, because health is a big issue that we are interested into. And you being involved in health, also being a medical doctor, I would like to ask you, what is health to you? How do you define health?
The answer to this question is much more difficult than may seem on the surface. Well, we can tell this when all processes in our body go normally. Now the question is, what is norm? Yeah, like normally you should be able to adapt to a variety of conditions of surrounding environment, and you should feel comfortable and active and efficient in all environments. And it's about your body and your mind also.
No, totally. And sometimes many people think they are healthy just because they are able to walk or they are able kind of to go up some stairs, and that's it. But most people don't realize or don't know what is the body, what is our bodies capable of. And then so many people, I see many people just thinking that because they feel good, that they are actually healthy. But that is not the case, right?
Well, people may deceive, we may deceive ourselves until we face some difficult situation in life. Yes, you may think that being able to walk on staircase is okay until you are in a situation where you need to climb a tree.
Yes, yes.
And here comes, can you climb? Can you pull up? Yeah,
Yes.
that's a different thing.
No, totally, totally. Let's talk about a bit your last book, Autoimmunity Unlocked, focus on the microbiome and digestive system. I would like to ask you a few questions about this. Like, first of all, why the name? Why Autoimmunity Unlocked?
Well, this is actually based on my personal experience, because I used to have rheumatoid arthritis. I tell you, I'm used to have it because God led me to healing through giving me understanding how these things work in our body, how our immune system is connected to bacteria in our body, what we call microbiome, and how these all are in the scope of a whole ecosystem of our body. Our body is an ecosystem, and you want to change immune cells, you need to change everything there. It's like holistic picture. Why unlocked? Because if you, I'm very glad that you never experienced arthritis. I experienced it. I lived for many years with arthritis, and really feels like you are in chains or you are in handcuffs. You cannot move freely. It is difficult to walk from one room to another room. That's how it feels. So when you finally come to healing, it's like your handcuffs are unlocked and removed from you. That's where the word unlocked came to me.
Oh, that is a powerful story. And related to the microbiome, many people just still don't know what is the microbiome and how it is related to the immune system.
Well, we often think about our body as our own cells, and your body probably and my body have roughly 37 trillion cells in us. But recently, relatively recently, we discovered that there are many more bacteria in our body than our own cells. If you have 37 trillion your cells, you have roughly 38 trillion bacteria living in your body. Well, bacteria are smaller than your cells, so in total it will be like 4 kilograms of bacteria in your body. So bacteria are everywhere in your body, mostly in your digestive system, but they are on your skin, in your nose, in your liver, in your kidney, like pretty much everywhere. And your immune cells are also everywhere in your body. And immune cells, their work is to keep those bacteria in check, but they also constantly collaborate with bacteria. Or there's two types of cells, so kind of bacterial cells and your immune cells. There are many kinds of them. Yeah, they interact with each other. So your bacteria is a microbiome, and we currently consider that as a new organ of our body, which was discovered probably like 15 years ago. And this organ is through whole our body, and it is connected to many things. It's connected to immune system a lot. It's connected to digestive system a lot. It's connected even to your brain, how we think, or neurological and mental health is also connected to that. It's connected to liver, to cardiovascular health, etc.
Well, many
That is
people say
microbiome. Microbiome is bacteria in our body, and they do influence our cells. They can help and they can undermine.
totally agree. Yes, and I've read also that many people, many doctors say, and the ones that are studying actually the gut and the microbiome, that say that our gut, our microbiome, is like the first fortress to attack any pathogen that comes to us through our mouth. And if we don't kind of are working on making a strong fortress in our gut, then that is why many people get sick, right?
Yeah, we sometimes notice, and it was known for a very long time. Yes, like two people can eat the same meal. So one person has upset stomach, another one goes just well. Yes, and why do hunter-gatherers, people who are hunter-gatherers living in forests, they can literally drink dirty water from a pond from which you not even swim there, and they can drink, and they have no problem. The point is that the very diverse and strong microbiome does not allow that invaders, the pathogenic bacteria who are invaders, to settle, because all ecological niches in your body are taken, they're occupied, the newcomer is slaughtered. And those pathogens cannot hold the ground. But modern people have such a low diversity of microbiome, and the microbiome of modern Western people is so fragile that many people, they just eat even normal food and they cannot tolerate normal food. Food intolerance is very, very common in modern society. It should not be common. I mean, it's abnormal thing. And here, microbiome is one player, immune system is another player, and epithelium or cells of your intestine is another player. And all these three things connected to each other. They all influence each other.
No, totally. And related to the main purpose of your book, because there is a great story behind, there is a powerful kind of technical topic you're talking about, which is the immune system and which is the microbiome. And related to the main message of the book, what would you say is the main message that you want to share with this book?
With Autoimmunity Unlocked, the main message is probably, okay, your body is an ecosystem, and your immune cells are just part of that ecosystem. You cannot fix your immune cells without fixing the whole ecosystem. Microbiome is a big part of this ecosystem, but there are some other parts also. So you need to change everything together. And that's how that's how health can be built.
Totally agree.
So our body is ecosystem. Probably that's a quintessence.
And when is it going to be available?
Well, it is already written, as I told, but right now the final editing is done to make the text kind of more easy to read for common people. I hope it should be finished within 1 month, like probably like 4 weeks or something.
No, that is amazing. That is
Right
amazing.
now, actually, whoever is interested, they already can take some materials of my book, because my book comes with additional materials like mind map of strategies and tactics. I have very systematic approach to it. I have a mind map that there is also a collection of probiotics food recipes. There's also um, kind of a manual or tables of different types of food and in which order to move through expanding your diet. So all these things, and also actually subscribing to a free, I will probably provide free versions of my book for my first readers, because I want feedback from people, and I just really love the idea that people will get it and help their health. So you can go to website. Can I tell to your readers the website?
No, totally, totally. And by the way,
Okay.
here you can
If you
see
write
the
it,
information.
autoimmunity unlocked as one word, autoimmunityunlocked.org. That is a web page which is available right now. You can go there, you enter your email, and it comes to my personal list. It's not some spam list or something. It's my person. It's like you give your email to me, and I will send you just email when the book is ready. I will send it to your email like, okay, you can take my book for free now. But right now, or when you enter your email, you'll be able to download those additional materials,
Oh,
bonus.
by the way, yes, everyone who is watching us, you can see the URL here in the
Yeah.
screen, and also in the information of this episode, you can see also you can access the URL. Thank you. And going to another very interesting topic that you've been working on, it is creativity and innovation. Everything is related, and I think maybe this question just came up, this thought just came up, but can it be related to having a healthy microbiome with being creative and innovative? Can it be a
Related.
correlation?
Well, probably it's not a direct relation, but in general, when healthy person, healthy body, healthy mind, you want to do something novel and interesting.
Totally agree. Just that thought came up to my mind. Well, another question related to creativity and innovation. You have this another book and an audio book called 241 Real World Brain Teasers, Guided Problem Solving in Inventions, Nature, Uncommon Trivia, and Business Innovation. You talked about a bit about this book just earlier, but how would you define creativity and how would you define innovation?
Well, these two things are definitely connected to each other, and the many dimensions of it. Yes, it's like thinking out of box, like looking on something which was designed to solve one problem and to understand it, and to understand how a different kind of problem can be solved with that thing. Looking at the problem and to understand how it can be solved not by brute force but by hacking the problem from inside. Yeah, or looking at something, how something works and understanding how it works and how you can change something and to do it either better or to use it for something else. There's so many dimensions of innovation and creativity. They are in many areas of our life. Yes, the inventions, of course, it's very straightforward. All inventions are examples of that. Business innovations is another thing, another dimension of it. Understanding in science, understanding of nature, how things work in nature, is another thing.
Yes, and related to problem solving, because many people have their own definitions, but what we love to do here on this podcast is like to try to have a deeper understanding of how this world works. And how is problem solving related to creativity or innovation? And how important do you think is to keep our brains fit?
Being innovative and creative probably is the main thing which distinguishes humans from non-humans or life from non-life. Yes, and nowadays we often thought that people are not efficient because they don't have access to all information needed. Nowadays, when internet allows you to relatively quickly to find information, it becomes more obvious how thinking is different from knowing facts. And thinking should be developed, including in children also. We should target on developing thinking a lot. Knowing facts is important, but just putting more and more trivia into mind, if the mind is not trained to do something with that knowledge, it's kind of almost useless.
Totally agree. And for everyone who is watching this episode, who is hearing this episode, just take a look at how important it is, the topics that we are discussing, because we are talking about how to keep our microbiome healthy and how to keep our brain fit. And Anar has been working on both. It is important, right, to keep our microbiome healthy and our brain fit. And this book can help us to do that, right?
Yeah. The previous book also, it's available if you go to site inventanddiscover.com. inventanddiscover.com. Over there, you can go through link to find this book. It's available now in electronic, paper, and audio formats. And I plan to add more books to the same series. So I plan Invent and Discover to be a series of books. Just right now, I'm focusing on the health book, and then I will return to the series.
Oh, that is amazing. Please keep us posted about all this series and all the information. You're going to find it here for everyone who is watching this episode. You are going to find it here on the information. But yes, that will be very, very interesting. And what would you say, having this training on the as a medical doctor and as a software engineer, and who has this important story about his own life? Can someone be trained to be creative and to be a creative problem solver and innovator, or is it related only to our genes or our circumstances? Can someone be trained?
Well, partially, I'm sure something is related to inheritance, yes, which is partially genes, but genes do not cover everything about inheritance. But people can be trained also, of course. And from childhood, children should be trained. And one of the things, for example, how to have child trained is to have child growing in somewhat inconvenient conditions. The environment should be somehow not comfortable, not convenient, so that the child always works finding ways how to make things better. Everybody who is put into conditions of complete comfort degrades.
In general, that is a great point that you're making there. But yes, go ahead.
Yeah.
I interrupted you.
I mean, throughout history, children were inventing, making up toys for themselves. Yes. And I remember from my childhood, I grew up in Soviet Union. Whenever you will buy almost any toy, which is, if it is slightly complicated, it will break relatively quickly, and then you need to fix it or think about how to replace some parts, etc. And when I look now what is happening, like in modern society, toys are usually given as is, and a person, like children usually don't understand how they work or how to replace them, how to make their own, how to invent, how to entertain yourself. That all those things require creative thinking. It's better to not give to a child everything ready prepared, but to make child to learn how to prepare it for themselves.
Exactly.
That's just only one of the examples. There's so many examples, yes, where innovation and creativity can be fostered in a person from early age on.
Yes, but that is great to hear, because here in Latin America, I am based in Mexico, and many people watch this podcast in Latin America. So the thing that culturally we tend to believe that because we are in this culture, of that someone who was raised with some kind of less tools or less capital to be able to study or to be trained into several subjects, that they say, well, that is the reason why I'm not that creative, and that I'm not such a prolific problem solver, but everyone can be trained. Yes, great. Now let's talk about one of the most interesting topics, because we are integrating all this knowledge that you have, which is machine learning and AI related to health and related to creativity. But first, if you could please share with us a bit about what does biopharma do, And what is your role in the company? What do you do there?
Well, my company, Formation Bio, and I'm a lead software engineer. So I'm one of the people who develop a core system of our software platform, which helps our researchers. And our company focuses on drug development, kind of taking new molecules which are candidates to become drug, and to understand how do we make them drugs, if it is possible, or if it's not possible, again, to prove that it's impossible. So it also helps medical community to know, okay, this thing doesn't work. Other things can work, probably not for this, for that. And for that, like, clinical trials are made. So all those things can be improved using computer science and modern technology, definitely. Clinical trials can be improved, analyzing the side effects, analyzing and digging through all report data from research and trials. All those things are good examples of where computer algorithms, computer systems can speed up human work dozens or hundreds of times.
Okay, and related to AI and machine learning, because still many people today or nowadays can't tell the difference between one and the other. So using some examples of the processes or the inventions that you do on this company, how would you explain to someone what is AI and what is machine learning and what are the main differences?
Well, machine learning is, I will tell, it is a statistics on large data matrices. You take lots of data, and machine learning can find certain correlations and patterns and generate something next based on the data which you provide. That's machine learning. And AI is a fancy word which you put in your marketing tests when you need to sell it. So I would tell AI doesn't exist. AI stands for artificial intelligence. Artificial intelligence doesn't exist. There's no such thing. There is such thing as machine learning. Yeah, but when you want to sell some programs or services, etc., you name it AI. Because it sounds more
No, totally,
more attractive to people.
yes, totally. But many people see that these systems appear to think, and maybe that is the marketing trick.
Yeah. Well, that is fundamental thing, right? Computer systems cannot think. Computer systems cannot generate new data, new information. They can digest existing data, find patterns, and build something based on those patterns. That's what they can do, or recognize patterns, or build something based on patterns. That is not novel. That's not novelty. That's not creating something new. A hamster can create something new. Computer cannot.
Yes,
That's a
totally.
fundamental difference between life and non-life.
Yes, totally,
And
totally
for me,
agree.
a person who studies theology, it does have actually theological connotations to it.
Oh, great, great. That is amazing. I'm going to add another question just at the end of this conversation because now that you mentioned theology, but let's continue with the conversation that we have prepared for this podcast. And the other thing it is many people also think that what they think again, it is artificial intelligence that it can help people in the pharma industry to make almost miracles to happen and to create new things such as never they have been done before. But you are in this process, you work with it every day. So related to the pharma industry and health, what would you say? What can do and do not machine learning help to improve? Where are the main possibilities and where do you see are the main risks?
Well, definitely sophisticated computer science, including machine learning, can make work of drug discovery and drug development hundreds of times faster and probably cheaper. And because time is money. Yeah, so things which previously were taking decades probably now will take significantly less time. There is still limitations. I mean, because the limitation is about human bodies and how fast human's body can be changed in direction of healing diseases or getting side effects. Yes, that thing you cannot speed up. So you give the medications to subjects. That's how we mean people to whom medications is given in clinical trials. and you need to track the result. You half year, 1 year, what is happening, and then you must check like 5 years later, how do people feel? Yes, what happened to disease? Are there any side effects long term, etc.? You cannot change this time frame, but there are many other processes where work can be speeded up. Like lots of data comes as a result of this research. Previously, we had humans working with paper and pencils with those data. Now we have people working with spreadsheets probably or some software. And now we may analyzing the data, finding the patterns, finding the connections, etc. Now we'll have the same work done by computer systems somewhere on the server in background, and it will spit out the answer within several minutes instead of waiting for 1 week for several smart people to analyze the data. Yes, now you get it for several minutes from computer. Definitely, it's lots of winning from point of time and money. That's what you get. Yeah, but as I mentioned, you cannot speed up what is happening in the bodies of humans when they get medication. That is a bottleneck.
No, totally. And also, let's think about actually very, very smart people. These systems can help them be more productive and to accelerate the process that they already know how they work. But if someone who is not that good and pretends that AI is going to solve something that he or she does not understand, that is not a good example of how AI will help that kind of people, right?
Well, the machinery in farms do speed the work. Yes, like you or me with a shovel, we can dig this much. If we take a machine, like excavating machine, it will definitely dig much faster. But you need to know how to use it.
Yes.
Right, and using it is more difficult skills than skills of using a shovel.
Yes.
So yeah, you need to learn more because it's more difficult to use, but then you get more results faster.
Totally. And for specifically for people in Latin America where you don't have that many pharma companies working with machine learning, could you provide a couple of examples about how biopharma leverages the power of machine learning into their processes?
I cannot go into many details because many things are secret for the company. But for example, what our company is developing now, what we name a AI research assistant. It's a big platform which will pull lots of information from publications, from research, from other documents, etc., and it will analyze through it, and it will kind of help our researchers to work with the data without really reading through tons of papers manually, but kind of paraphrasing the equations, giving to the system, and the system actually digests the data and gives it. So it's like a conversation. So let us also, this software can be a team member with human researchers. So the one machine learning research system can be in the team with human researchers, and together they can make work done much faster because humans read much slower than computer can digest the text, right? So if we achieve that point when humans don't need to read hundreds of pages, but they can just ask the question and get the answer quickly from those hundreds of pages during computer system digesting the data. Yeah, that's one of the examples.
Okay, no, that is amazing. Just related to this same question, but let's think about it in a general way, not related exactly to biopharma, just because of confidentiality issues. But one of the things related to evaluating these kind of systems, it is that you need to make a lot, I mean tons and tons of prompts for evaluating these systems and to measure the responses. Some of the ways or some of the methods for evaluating this kind of systems involves using another AI or another AI-based system to measure the outcomes or the outputs of these systems. But if you want to measure the level of specialty, of technical specialty in one area, such as pharma, such as the level of work that your researchers do, What evaluation methods could work for this kind of highly specialized systems for helping researchers do their work faster?
Well, you are absolutely right. On one side is a evaluation which is manual. When humans know certain data already, we know what is the question, what should be the answer. Now we give that question to the system, we get the answer, we compare, is it good or not? And it can be done manually, it can be done automatically. And neither of these two things can replace another. You need both. You need both. Automatic check is good because it is very cheap and you can run it automatically like 10 times a day. And manual, yeah, you need human time, but it will give you more insight because, yeah, probably originally we thought the answer is this. Now the system gives this, which looks different, but human may read it and say, well, okay, that's actually better. Or it is something is covered better, something else is covered worse. So here humans can give you insight which automatic evaluation will not give. On another side, automatic evaluation, you can just check it very, very frequently, so it helps you during your development process.
Okay, okay, okay. And another thing related to problem solving and creativity, how would you say that an AI system or machine learning system can help individuals, teams, and companies just to be more productive, or it is another thing that they can leverage with related to problem solving and creativity?
Whatever work is dumb, meaning does not require any creativity, any innovation, but requires you just to analyze some data and make decisions according to some formula from that data, pretty much, or some patterns. All that work can be automated and speed up, from driving a car to translating a book or preparing a resume of a book or article, to analyzing some financial reports, etc. So many things, yes, or analyzing the prescriptions of medication for people and understand, okay, if there's side effect, then we can replace this medication with another medication. So all those things are dumb. I mean, they don't require any innovation because there's a set of rules, set of data, you find the patterns, you calculate based from patterns some next step. That thing humans can be replaced. Where
Okay.
humans cannot be replaced, when you need to come up with ideas. That's a completely different thing.
Exactly, exactly. No, great,
And
great.
that actually is dangerous because so many jobs do not need coming up with ideas. They just jobs which are just take data, process it, making next iteration of the data, and that thing can be replaced. So I know there are different views on how society will be affected by machine learning. I am probably pessimist here in terms of what will happen to unemployment.
Totally, totally agree. And we'll talk a bit about that after this question. I thought it was going to be the last question. There are two more questions that I love to ask to you, but let's go to the final one that I had on my notes here. And what are the biggest opportunities for the short and long term with machine learning? And think about a student, a startup founder working on creating some solution based on machine learning, and just a user that wants to improve productivity and creativity. Where would you see that are the biggest opportunities?
Well, as I told, biggest opportunities now is to look through all industries and to understand which work is automatable and to automate it. And of course, you can measure money. You can measure how much cost is in industry for this type of work. For example, I know that truck companies are now trying to push legislation to allow self-driving trucks because it's loss of money and it will be very, very beneficial for truck companies to do it. That's one of examples. There's so many examples. Right now, we're just stepping into a time where robots and machine learning systems will replace humans in many jobs. And whoever jumps into this stream will benefit financially from that stream a lot. Yeah, long term, but even short term, we'll see more and more people laid off and replaced by computer systems, and there will be some push and oversaturation of people in some jobs. There will be some changes in society. Yeah.
No, totally.
Another danger I see is that more and more text, articles, books, publications online, etc., will be prepared by machine learning systems, which means that, and as I told, machine learning for computer cannot create novel ideas. They just digest existing thing and put another combination of data, which means that novel ideas which humans produce will be more and more diluted in this ocean of data created by computers, and to things which people produce, like novel ideas, like novel articles, etc., new ideas, will be more difficult to find, which I'm afraid may even discourage many people from publishing, because if you think, you create, you publish, and you are not visible, you may think twice, do I need to do it again or not?
No, totally agree. The other day I was watching this video about someone who is an expert on meta prompting, and he's been experimenting a lot with meta prompting. And he shows some examples about how to design some meta prompts for the system to write anything you want in the style that you want, very well referenced to actual real publications, and the outcomes were pretty good. I was actually experimenting with that, and I said, well, many people, it is not necessary to be actually writing some articles or some even specialized technical articles, because these things can do kind of decent jobs even at the moment.
This result is good because it is standing on the shoulders of many other articles produced by smart people who were taken into the database of this computer system, which generates for you your result. And so your result is always only as good as the data which is in the database, because the system probably analyzed thousands and thousands of books written by humans. But now, when we are having more and more content, actually, content is written by machine learning system, and the stream of things, if creative people will be discouraged publishing, will not have this quality data anymore added to the database or slow it down, the result of machine learning also will plateau. It will not grow more. It will plateau because it is limited, but what you feed the system and you get the result. If you don't feed anything better, you will not have better results.
No, totally.
So
totally
we are
agree.
coming to the point when most of internet will be written by ChatGPT, etc. And all this machine learning system, Llama, ChatGPT, Google AI, etc., Anthropic, they will learn from each other, not from humans. And that is dangerous because we'll kind of just feed the machine learning system, which produce the text. One produces the text, another one ingests, this produces, this ingests. They will kind of feed each other, but it will growing ocean of informational vomit.
Like a recycled information.
Yes, recycled information. And people will be kind of lost in it. Again, probably I'm drawing very gloomy picture. Probably somebody will tell where is the solution from it. I don't know. To me, it looks that it may go this way.
Yes. No. Yes. That is a very interesting topic to talk about. But just the last question that I wanted to ask you, it is related. Once you a moment ago you mentioned something related to theology also, and by you knowing about how the human body works, by you knowing, being studying how the mind works, and you being studying how machine learning works, and the question is, what is the point? Well, first of all, it is actually feasible from your perspective. It is actually feasible for a machine or AI-based machine to become actually intelligent and conscious? Why yes? Why not?
I don't think that's possible to be intelligent and conscious. Intelligent and conscious, if we take it as related to each other things, yeah. Free will, it is connected to free will. Computer system cannot have free will. We even don't theoretically see how. We even don't understand how does free will happen in humans or animals. We understand that it is there. It is related to our ability of producing new information, but we don't understand how it works. And that is a factor which I think is connected to spirituality. Because if we take completely in secular view, as human is a bag of chemical reagents, we just are, the bag with chemical reactions happening in us. No matter how many chemical reagents you put together, and they will react with each other, they cannot produce new information. But we humans do produce new information. Right now, we are conversating with each other, and we produce new data during this conversation. I believe this information, which we produce now, didn't exist 1 hour ago. It didn't exist yesterday. It didn't exist during Big Bang. If humans were completely deterministic as chemical reactions are, we would not produce any new information. Everything next is a product, the formula of the previous. Then we would have to admit that our conversation now existed yesterday, and that's why it existed the day before yesterday, and that's why it existed at the time of Big Bang. It's nonsense. To me, it looks like nonsense. That's why I assume that we are not completely explained. Not only we, animals also, like life is not completely explained by a combination of chemical reactions. And that's where we come to something spiritual, and that's what cannot be reconstructed or reproduced by a computer system. Because we don't even know how it works.
Yes, one of the main arguments that Elon Musk has, it is that if something starts a bit complex and you just start adding complexity to that entity, there will be a point where that level of complexity will generate some kind of an emergent property called consciousness.
I know that concept, but I disagree with it. I don't see how it may happen.
Okay.
Well, the proponents of this idea, I did read, they tell it as an assumption, but the idea of how it may happen is not clear, and I think it's not existent.
Oh, totally. Great. No, great conversation, Anar. It's been great talking to you. It is not easy to find someone with this level of knowledge in different areas and how we can integrate them. So I hope everyone can have some deep understanding about the things that we've been discussing here. Thank you, Anar, for your time and for being here.
Thank you. My best wishes to your project also. And hi again, and thank you to all listeners.
Yes, and please check the books that Anar has. Here are the links to his books. So see you next time. Bye.
See you. Bye.